turn on my mic. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is 5:30 on Monday, February 9th, 2026. It only feels like it's been Monday for 72 hours. Call the meeting of the Nederland City Council to order. If everyone would please rise for the invocation. Randy, you want to do it?
Yeah, sure.
And then we'll follow by the pledges of allegiance. Councilmember Simon.
Pray, Lord, we just thank you for this opportunity to be here today, Lord. And we pray for this great country, Lord. We pray for our military as they defend us in all four corners of the world, Lord. We just appreciate everything they do and the sacrifices they make. We're just thankful here to be here to work for this city, Lord, and do the things that you would ask us to do, all in your name. Amen.
Amen. Join me in pledges of allegiance to the flags of our country and of our state. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. To the Texas flag, I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. You may be seated. I'm going to change up the order a little bit due to the time constraints of one of the items on executive session. So going to item number 5, the second. So I'll read it when we go into executive session on the first issue. The city council will announce that it will go into executive session pursuant to chapter 551 of the Texas Government Code to discuss matters as specifically listed on the agenda or as authorized by law, consultation with attorney pursuant to section 551.071 of the Texas Government Code regarding the forensic audit. It is 5:31 p.m. We're going to be in executive session only as long as it takes. Thank you for your patience. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is 6:15 PM. We are out of this executive session. Back to the item 3, citizen comments. And at this time, members of the audience may comment on any city-related subject not on the agenda. By the way, here's if anyone else needed to sign in, it's up here. Anyone wishing to speak shall sign in before the meeting with their name and address. Comments are limited to 3 minutes unless otherwise allowed by City Council. The Texas Open Meetings Act prohibits the council from discussing items not listed on the agenda. Any member of the audience that desires to speak during City Council's consideration of any specific agenda items is requested to notify city staff prior to the start of the meeting. Before we get started with that, there will be no public action on what we're in executive session for at this time. Okay, I forgot to say that. So citizen comments. First one on the list is Jacqueline Toop, 613 North 15th Street. The list is, that was last meeting. Okay, my bad. Someone bring the thing up to me. My bad. Thanks, sir. Robert Klinger, name and address, Mr. Klinger. Give me 1 second to turn on. Just a second, Bob. 1 second. Please start over, Bob.
Robert Klinger, 1140 Kent Avenue.
You're on.
Let me explain something to you. Nederland has established building rules and ordinances. These rules have been written by people before now and approved by city council in the past. They should not be up for debate or deviation. Any deviations that might be appropriate should be the exception, not the rule. Specifically, I am talking about the zoning and allowance of multifamily housing and renting rooms in our city. Even the EDC director and board has listed one of the number of negatives of our community as the excessive number of multifamily units. Our zoning rules prohibit duplexes, apartments, house splits into multi-units, hotels, motels in most areas of our city. The zoning ordinance that has been approved by the city council prove where these can be located and other restrictions to these types of multifamily buildings. The buildings have to be on larger lots and they are only allowed to cover a smaller percentage of the land and must have permits and inspections to be deemed. This includes fire inspections of each facility. These things are not happening. People are allowed to build and occupy these structures while the city just sits there and watches. People are allowed to build and occupy these structures while the, you're read down. When citizens want to deviate, they take it to the zoning board of appeal. Oh, I don't want to read that. What I'm getting at is we need to do something about these duplexes. This is a
You have 30 seconds.
sorry. This is I would like to see a moratorium brought up on these duplexes.
Your 3 minutes is up, Mr. Klinger. Thank you.
Mayor, can I ask a real question? Can we give him a little bit longer to finish this?
I'd like to hear the rest of his comments.
Finish your thoughts. Please make it brief.
I think we need to bring up a moratorium on these duplexes. We need more single family dwellings. We don't need duplexes. We don't need apartments. and all that stuff. We also, let me ask you, let me say something. When investors look at investing in our city, the number one thing they look at is how many single rooftop dwellings we have. People, we are losing our single dwelling metering because of this.
Thank you.
Okay, oh, I'm not done. Hold on.
If I give you extra time, I'm giving everybody extra
Sir,
time and we have 5
hold on a
people. I'm
minute.
just,
I want to say something to you.
all right, please.
I have a speech problem. It's gonna take longer than 3 minutes. I pay taxes in this damn town. I should have a right to talk on something this important. You ran,
Please continue. Please continue.
thank you.
Please continue. I will give everyone else 5 minutes. Okay.
We're losing this. We're losing our city. And nobody's doing nothing about it. Not a thing. We got multifamily, we got people building, we got people buying single homes, turning them into multifamily dwellings. That they're allowed to do that, nothing's being done. We got Mid-Jeff Hospital that's turned into a motel for $35 a night. Nothing's being done. I mean, there's everybody talks about it all the time. They talk about it, but it's never on the agenda. It's never on the agenda. We voted for y'all. Y'all need to start listening to us. Thank you.
Thanks, sir.
Jackie Toops.
My name is Jackie Toops. I live at 613 North 14th Street. Okay, I have just a few things to say about. I understand that the city manager position, the resumes it was all up and done on the 23rd of January. That's when everything had to be submitted in. They weren't taking any resumes after that. Now, the thing of it is I'm really curious how many, I mean, I think the citizens are, how many resumes were received and exactly who received them, who is going to be reviewing them, and who will narrow down the candidates the council to review. Because I have an issue, not with who is in HR, but the fact that if the HR position is having anything to do with it, then they are scanning out, deciding, going to see who the council's going to look at and all that. When that is their boss. That to me is a conflict. That would be like the assistant police chief going through things to look at it to see who's going to be the next police chief. It doesn't make any sense to me. It just doesn't. And another thing is, I understand the salary range y'all have posted is $161,000 to $219,000. When we've got the infrastructure problems that we've got in this city, everybody is dealing with it. The amount that y'all have done is so above even the Texas and national average that it is outrageous. And y'all may be looking at somebody having their many years of being a city manager and all that, but you've also got to look at the amount of money that is going out and the amount of problems that we have in this city that is going to take the money. And the citizens are looking at all that. And you're going to turn around and you've raised the salary level up tremendously from what it was before to now that you're going to pay this person this much money. And it's to me, people are, I don't know how many people knew that it was going to be that much money. I mean, I happened to see what it was going to be and I was shocked because of what is the problems within this city that need to be corrected. And you're bringing someone in outside that has nothing. They're going to have to learn everything, but you've increased the salary tremendously. And then you're going to turn around and maybe in the near future, who knows, it may happen. Y'all need a bond issue because gosh, we're short of money. Well, the first thing I imagine a lot of citizens are going to say is, why are we paying the city manager what we're paying? When you look at the surrounding towns, Bridge City in 2023, they had 110 to 113,000 is what they were paying. You've got even Port Arthur, as large as it is, in 2026, theirs is 110,000. Now, I grant you, they've got a lot of problems with their city, but we're a lot smaller. And when you start looking at it, I just wondered when y'all did the salary, if y'all even bothered to look how far it was going to go above the Texas average and the national average, because it is a lot. Now, another thing, I would like to see the fact that y'all ran on transparency, the whole bit. I really would like to see why in the world the city has not considered having some type of citizen committee or advisory panel to help when they select a city manager. It's done in other areas. It's done in other states. It's done here in Texas. And what these panels do is it helps to review the candidates, and the city council appoints them. Each one of them appoints somebody out of the citizen group to do it. And it helps with there being transparency. It helps with being, the council being more open, the citizens being involved in it. And especially when we had a city manager before that had a lot of issues.
30 seconds.
A lot of issues with the citizens. And yet we don't have any say-so in anything. And I'm not saying we should tell you who to hire. That's up to y'all. But when you are available to have a citizen panel or advisory panel or a citizen group, to me, take advantage of it, especially after what we went through for the last 16 years. That would help a lot.
Your time is up.
All right, that's fine.
Keith Bass.
Keith Bass, 2415 Avenue E.
You're on.
Mine's mainly about the neighborhood safety. So from 365 Twin City 69, our speed limits are up to 45 miles an hour. Whenever you cross 365 on Twin City, it drops from 45 to 40 to 35 to 30. Nederland Avenue used to be 30 miles an hour to 35.
Can I stop you just for a second? Your time has been stopped. Okay. 365 is not in the Nederland city limits.
I understand.
Okay.
So that's still part on this side of Nederland 365. That's Nederland residents, right? Whenever you live on this side of 365.
Once you cross the ditch
Yes.
along 365.
So that highway is still 45 miles an hour. Twin Cities, 45, 40, up to Nederland Avenue, you get 30. Again, Nederland Avenue's 30, used to be 35. It was deemed an unsafe speed, so we slowed it back down to 30. School zones are slowed down to 20 miles an hour. Why are our residential neighborhoods 30 miles an hour? I would like to have another speed study done. Rod Carroll's done a fabulous job. I commend him. He has come in and he's made significant changes. Police department has done a magnificent job. SRO's doing a lot with the e-bikes, the scooters, and it does start at the house with the parents doing the training with the kids. I understand that. We've had stop signs put in on streets in our ward. The speeding is still a thing. We don't have stop signs, so now they do stop, but now it's a stop and let's see how fast we can get to the next stop sign. If we thought 35 miles an hour was too fast on Nederland Avenue and we're doing 30, we shouldn't be doing 30 in a residential neighborhood. It's too fast. You can get on Facebook, you can get in any Nederland group. People always talk about, we need speed bumps, we need stop signs, we need to do this, we need to do that. We do need to have slower speeds. 20, 25 is sufficient. We all talk about our kids. We slow down in the school zones. We need to slow down in our residential neighborhoods. Whenever you come up to certain intersections, there's a lot of views being blocked. For elderly people, they can't see. for myself, when I'm trying to come down to Avenue H and I look in front of the park and I'm looking towards Twin City, there's trees blocking me. If you're coming from 22nd and you're looking on Avenue H towards 69, there's a brick wall and there's shrubs you can't see. So people speeding at 30 miles, I say speeding, doing 30, I think is a little fast. So you're having to edge out past these stop signs just to see. The sun glaring, if you're having to drive towards Port Arthur in the morning for work, it's blinding. You don't need to be doing these speeds. And another topic, I think we should look at possibly doing a town hall. Not every week, not every month, maybe quarterly, on a Saturday. For the people that can't make these evening meetings, that can't make them because they do shift work, make them because they're sick. There's a lot of people that say they want to come, but they can't. Try it one time, see if it works. There's a lot of people that have great ideas, young and old. If you have just one day on a Saturday, we can talk to the school district. We can talk to probably anybody around here that has a banquet room and say, we'd like to lease it out, rent it out, have a space from 12 to 5, make a day of it, and have all of the citizens come in, and you can limit their time, 5 minutes, 7 minutes, whatever it is, and limit to a sign-up list, and that way they can come in and talk about their topics. I think having that option for people to come in instead of coming in here, and then also if they want to, they can have a Dropbox to write in. I know we have that option now, but there's a lot of people that don't feel comfortable coming up and talking. They're not public speakers, or they just don't know what they're going to say. They come in here and sit and they listen. They go, oh, hey, this is a concern of mine. That person says something, and then it jogs your memory, lets them remember something. But that's all I have.
Thank you. Thank you. David Wedgeworth.
David Wedgeworth, 712 Carriage Lane.
Yeah.
Where do we stand with Schaumburg and Pope with their final reports?
We can't comment right now.
Okay. Are we doing anything? Where are we posting what is going on? Where are we measuring our KPIs at? Where do the citizens find that?
We can't comment during citizen
Okay,
comments.
well, that's my
Yeah,
comment.
yeah, okay.
I mean, we said months ago that we were gonna, get updated report. Boys, we're not getting, your toes ought to be hurting, kicking that can down the road.
Jolie Shipley. You can only go up one time during citizen comments. One time. You can do multiple topics in your time. And that's not stopping anybody, but you can do it one time. I gave, all right. Let's talk after the meeting, okay? We can talk. I'm not saying that, Bob. I'm saying, let's talk about you get 3 minutes for each for citizen comments. Jolie Shipley.
Before my time starts, could the council please clarify whether or not you discussed item number 7 in executive session already?
Just a second.
Because item number 7 is on the agenda for public comment. And I don't want to get to 7 and find out you're not going to do 7. You're going to nix 7. And I should have used this time to make my comments about 7. Or since 7's on the agenda, will council stick to their agenda and get to 7 and allow comments then?
There is nothing to report from executive session.
Okay, so number 7 on the agenda says discussion and possible action. So can the citizens still make comments at number 7?
There's nothing to discuss.
Okay, Jolie Shipley, 8765 Holmes Road, start my time now. Number 1, that was a test, guys. Bob trying to talk and you silencing him, that was a test. That was a setup. We knew you were going to shut down citizen comments. You all ran on the premise that you wanted to let citizens talk. He had a totally different comment to make. You know what his comment was? His comment was that your 3 minutes is baloney. Your 3 minutes is no more than a year ago last year, this time, when Councilman Duplant, Councilman Sawyer, and the prior council members shut me down for 90 days, not letting me talk. I think it's ridiculous that you all can sit there and listen. You don't put what we talk about on the agenda. You don't ever respond to it. You don't ever get back to us. And then you wonder why there's a list of people trying to talk for their 3 minutes. I'm going to tell you some of the issues that have been brought up. The request for the moratorium on duplexes was here before the DOJ, and it's still here. It hasn't been addressed. Bob hit on it during his first 3 minutes and asked that this council consider an ordinance on the agenda to stop all multifamily constructions. I asked that be on a future agenda and not 6 years from now. Also, Schaumburg and Polk, as David made a point, you all voted to approve a contract preliminarily waiting for legal. You've never brought it back to council to vote to approve it after you got your legal. Unless you have delegated all your authority to now tossed out Levens, you had a duty to bring it back to council and vote on it. But again, it just goes away, swept under the rug, or as someone else said, your toes hurt from kicking that can. I'm going to also point out the city manager. Guys, you knew you had the applications at the end of January. What are you waiting on? This man's doing his job, but he costs us a fortune. Why isn't it on the agenda that you all would review the applications? I expect you all to do the job for which you were hired. There were no more than 20 applications, and there's no reason you all can't screen those applications, but you can't do it if you don't put it on the agenda. And the council, the citizens don't know what council's doing if it's not on agenda. Your Facebook pages are all shut down for comment and questions can't be posed. Going on that same line, if you have attended these meetings for the last year or longer, as many of us have, you would know that there are certain topics that have been brought up again and again and again, certain areas. I drove Mayor Albanese out to the house and had him put his head down where the literal poo and tampons were in the stormwater drain. But yet Mr. Shelton's been brought in at a hefty price tag and no one trained him. No one told him about our problems. You guys could have cut off both arms, both legs, and put blindfold on him, and he would be able to do the same job he's doing right now because you didn't give him the history of the problems. If you don't train the people you're bringing in with where we've been, they can't get us anywhere. We had a town hall meeting. It was not an infrastructure committee meeting where Mr. Shelton, Mr. Mills, and Mayor Darby updated us, but nobody updated Mr. Shelton to know what had happened. I'm also going to point out that we've brought up multiple times about the code enforcement problems, the building codes. And yet we have a code enforcement employee that runs around looking for grass, tires on the grass, sends out threatening letters, tires on the grass. Instead, why can't y'all get Mr. Guffey to look for these multifamily units? I mean, they're right under our eyes and we don't see them. And Mr. Sawyer, I discussed that with you. They're under our eyes and you don't see them. Maybe Guffey could see them. I can give you the addresses of about 5. The other thing, you haven't brought that back to the agenda ever. You also haven't brought back to the agenda the fact that we've known for a year now, there's no master plan for this city. And yet there's been no discussion on it. There's been no agenda item. There's been no update. There's been no workshop scheduled. We still have no master plan, yet you all have been in these positions for a year. I'm going to tell you, you need to listen. And I know you can't comment right now, but you're not hearing us. You're not putting our concerns on your agenda. You're not readdressing them, and you're not taking action on the things that these people are saying over and over and over and over again are a problem. That is 5 minutes and 1 second. Thank you.
Your time is up. All right. Consent agenda, item 4, consent agenda. All consent agenda items listed are considered to be routine by the city council and will be enacted by one motion. There's only one thing anyway. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a council member so requests, in which event the item will be removed from the consent agenda and considered separately. It's the minutes from February 2nd. We just need to have, when there's only one thing in the consent agenda, let's have just a separate agenda item for that item rather than doing this. Anyway, minutes, February 2nd, 2026 regular meeting. I'll accept a motion.
So move.
Second.
A motion by Ortiz, seconded by Sonier. Any discussion? Any citizen discussion? Hearing none. We're gonna do, under advice of council, we're gonna do a roll call on every vote just for purposes. I'm gonna start with Councilmember Jones.
Aye.
Mayor Darby, aye. Councilmember Sonier.
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Ortiz.
Aye.
And Councilmember Duplant is absent. So it does pass. All right, now we're going to go to executive session part 2. The city council will announce that it will again go into executive session pursuant to chapter 551 of the Texas Government Code to discuss matters as specifically listed on the agenda or as authorized by law, personnel matters pursuant to section 551.074 of the Texas Government Code, to deliberate the appointment, employment, evaluation, reassignment, duties, discipline, or dismissal of a public officer or employee regarding police chief. It is 6:41. We'll
Mayor.
be back when we're back.
Mayor, can we move that to the end?
Move that to the end.
Do you mind? Make a motion to move that to the end?
Well, there's no need. I'll do it. All right.
Yeah.
Interrupt me next time.
Okay, I will. Thank you.
All right. All right. 8, regular agenda, new business. So I've already, you asked the question already. I've ruled on it. There's nothing to discuss. You are no longer recognized. You are not recognized. Because there was no, oh, sit down, please. Please, okay? All right, you took more time than necessary by going on and on. There is no final, Ms. Shipley, there is no final report to give anyone. Because I found out this afternoon, it's not final. I can't discuss that during, hey, listen, Ms. Shipley.
Excuse me.
So I have a question. So if
Not
we
on
can't
that
discuss it,
agenda
shouldn't it
item.
be moved to strike from the agenda?
By not having it discuss, okay, it's stricken. I thought I said that earlier. Yeah, there's nothing to report. We had a preliminary discussion. There's,
Understand that.
right,
So we're striking it to remove it from the agenda.
it is, that's basically what I said earlier. There's nothing to report. Now, there may be something to report on Chief Carroll. This, because this is, we had to split this up into 2 parts. As far as item 7, there is nothing to report on the forensic audit. Wait. I did. I just, oh, Jiminy, Chris, please. There's nothing to discuss. I said, I believe I said there's nothing to discuss on it. Because, okay, there's nothing to, please let me speak. You ask a question, you have a right to an answer. I cannot continue to get questions and questions that I cannot answer, please. You know, that's called asked and answered. Okay, or that's too many questions. All right, listen. There is nothing to report on the forensic audit. It was a preliminary conversation we had in there. That is, Ms. Toops. No need to keep belaboring the point. Please. All right. Now, it is now 6:45, and we're going to go into executive session, as I said 4 minutes ago. That's right.
We're
All right,
gonna do that at the end.
we're gonna do that at the
Here's
end.
Agenda when you
All
get
right,
through the agenda.
let's, okay, hold on now. Everybody. I know it's election season. All right, everyone, let's get, and let me just say this. Several of you have not called me in months. You just get up and you tell me, but you don't call me or email me during, between council meetings. Thank you. 8B, received a quarterly hotel. 8A has been pulled. Mr. Latchley said there's nothing to vote on because they don't need the facility anymore on the Little Dribblers. Okay, 8B, received the quarterly hotel occupancy tax fund financial report from the Nederland Chamber of Commerce. Mr. Mills.
Thank you, Mayor. Is Diana here? Chamber? We have the report.
Diana,
Background. There she is.
advance and be recognized.
Diana Laborde, Executive Director of the Nederland Chamber of Commerce.
You're recognized.
I had submitted my quarterly report to you guys a couple weeks ago. I was just coming up for approval on that.
It's in your packets.
It's in the
Yeah, I'm got it here.
Mr. Mills, did you have anything on this agenda item?
No, sir, other than it's in there and recommend approval.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second it.
Motion by Ortiz, second by Jones to approve. Council, do you have any questions, comments?
No, sir. Thank you, Diana.
Thank you, Diana. Thanks, Diana. Appreciate it.
Citizens, questions, comments?
Jolie Shipley, 8765 Holmes Road. My question is that there are 4 hotels within the city limits of Nederland and multiple Airbnbs and VRBOs that require contribution to the tax for hotel motel tax. The city tax, I believe, is 7 or 7.5% of all the sales for less than 30 days. That money is what Miss Diana stretches, I might add, remarkably well to keep our museums and other things in the city running. And I think she could probably do really well with more money if it fell from the sky. I would hate to leave it on the table. I think it's important that you all know how much the total sales at the Candle Bridge or Candlewood Suites behind Sombreros is, and what percentage of that resulted in tax on it. The hotel motel tax.
Suspend, please. I want Ms. Laborde to answer that if she can. Ms. Laborde, is there any sort of auditing you can do to see if they're reporting all of their?
There's not. It would have to be an audit requested by y'all. It would be a very in-depth audit. A lot of their visitors are long-term. And once you enter into long-term stay, you do not have to pay an
Changes.
occupancy tax.
Yeah.
Is that a 30-day?
I think it's 30
All right.
days. There's a gray area there. They haven't really been reported. I don't know if they've been reporting accurately or not. But it would be a major ordeal to get an audit done.
Is that something the controller's office could do?
You know, I'm gonna attend.
To your knowledge.
And then I can find out.
All right. Okay.
No.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Shipley, your time resumes.
And actually, the Texas Comptroller's Office does handle that because each hotel motel reports what their gross sales are by month or quarterly. And then from that, they have to distinguish, and it's available, what portion of that goes to long-term rentals versus the rentals that are under 30 days that would result in generation of this tax revenue. I have said over and over again, and Mr. Hughes can look it up, but the definition in our ordinance, written by somebody wise, 40 years ago maybe, defines a hotel motel as a facility that has a common reception area that is rented typically on a nightly basis, has housekeeping and other such things that you would expect in a hotel motel. I would represent to you that more than 50% of the total revenue at Candlewood Suites, 63 rooms, about $470,000 per quarter, it generates our taxes. Over $250,000 generates the tax revenue for hotel motel tax that Miss Diana gets to manage. And then the Airport Inn has 116 rooms, and amazingly, they generate about the same amount of gross income and about the same income elsewhere. I would beg of you to look at the peanuts that the apartments on Highway 365 inside the Mid-Jeff Hospital, because they can't be a hotel motel. There's no common reception area attendant or housekeeper. And you can't go in and rent it at the front desk by the night. So it's not a hotel motel, but the peanuts that they're claiming is less than 30 days stays supports my proposition that it in fact is apartments and they're not zoned for apartments. But I've been saying that for a year and yet it doesn't come up on council. So I would beg of you to do right by the citizens of Nederland, get the information from the comptroller's office so that you can go out and find out if they're apartments and either shut them down or make them tear it down, and build a hotel.
Thank you. Any further discussion on B by the citizens? Hearing none, seeing none. We'll now go to a vote. Let's go Ortiz this way. Mayor Pro Tem Ortiz.
Aye.
Councilmember Sanya.
Aye.
Mayor Darby, aye. Councilmember Jones.
Aye.
Duplan is still absent. So eight B is approved. 8C, receive comments from the Hallmarks, 614 North 26th Street. And then we'll talk about, then we'll receive any comments from the DeVilliers. There should actually be 2, but that's all right. That's fine. From the Hallmarks, 614 North 26th Street. And Mr. Spell, this is the people who took the pictures that you may want to post for. Okay. Charlie, go ahead.
Okay. First of all, I want to thank the
Just
mayor.
introduce yourself first.
Oh, I'm sorry. Charlie Hallmark. I reside at 614 North 26th Street. I want to first start by thanking the mayor for coming out to our property and looking at the situation. I think he's got a pretty good idea on what we're dealing with over there. I want to thank Councilman Jones for his comment in which he said that that it is of utmost importance to me that this is resolved sooner rather than later. The Hallmarks have struggled for this for far too long. I appreciate those comments. I've been an elected official before. I know how tough it is, but you're our advocate. You are here to fight for us. We need you to fight for us now because I think there are forces at work against us. But I'm just going to say we have an easement behind our house in which the city has a sewer line. Well, back in 2015, the city had to go in there and do some sewer work because the sewer line was bad. Now, we were told that the only thing they did was just go in there and put an insert in that sewer line. That's not really true. They did some work down the line as well by putting in a manhole and all that. So, you know, what we were told wasn't exactly what happened. But anyway, what prior to them doing the work in that easement is that the water would drain off. When it rained, the water drained off within a few days. After they did the work, they created a new condition. Now the water piles up. I've sent y'all the email with the photos. You know,
Did you want to, excuse me,
Yeah.
1 second, I'll stop your clock. Did you want to just, while we scroll through would it help you to scroll through the pictures and you can tell us what's going on?
Yeah, well, this is just a picture of the easement, a part of the easement when it rains. Now it had quit raining, but you can see just how much water collects in that easement. And this did not happen before the city repaired that sewer line. It's like I said, the pre-existing condition was that the water drained off. The city created a new condition. That's the new condition.
Mr. Hallmark, pause the time, please.
Yeah, I am.
Was that water going into the sewer line?
I don't know. I'm not an engineer. I don't know.
you have any history on
what
that?
they
Well,
were saying.
well, the presumption was yes, and you said that 10 years ago, of course, none of us were here.
Right.
Right.
But apparently 10 years ago, we had and I know the method, and I'll describe that in a minute, but the method for repairing the sewer line, there is a sewer line in the easement. Charles mentioned 5-foot easement we have back there. The sewer line, of course, is regulated by TCEQ to not be
Right.
broken. It was broken. We further broke it with this forced blast method where they insert like
It was an old line, it was brittle. Yeah.
and brings a new line. So it's the non-trenchable process that was used. So yes.
Cured in place pipe.
So right.
Yeah.
So the assumption is, and we know around when people take a sewer cap off, we have the same result. If it's a broken pipe, water will go into that and create a drain, and probably did do that for previous years. Yes, sir.
You got anything else right now, Britton, or you just want to?
No, I was just curious if that water was actually an I&I issue
have to
and
go up
that's
there.
why it was draining, but.
You'll have to go up there. Go ahead. Y'all will share the time. Oh, just, you need to identify yourself.
For Hallmark, 614 North 26th Street.
Go ahead.
is where, when this gentleman came out, said that here.
You really have to be at the microphone when you do this. Yeah. Sorry, I should have saved you some
We'll get it
steps.
worked out, yeah.
Redone. And that here's where the pipe was redone. Okay, so that has nothing to do with this area. So in that case, that's why we moved our fence in. So when we have issues, we don't have to see it. You know, because we've lived with this for 10 years. You know, every time it rains, it holds water and it's getting worse.
Hold for just a question from me, if you don't mind. Where is the actual property line?
Our property line,
Yep.
I guess, would be here. This is, yeah.
So our line
Here.
is not out in the middle of this
No.
gap?
It's up on the end. That's where they told us where they did it. Put the insert in. Then it goes past us to the building. They put it in the manhole.
So, Mr. Omar, I got a quick question.
Yes, sir.
That fault cutting, is that the back of your backyard right there?
Yes.
Okay, so I just, okay, I'm just asking a question through the years that yard was maybe built up, or this used to drain to the street, or how that happened, or how that's a lower
No,
ever.
it never has drained
Okay.
in the street. And you know, the real issue here is the fact that we called city out numerous times. They come out, they promised, they assured, they guaranteed that something was going to be done about it. There was going to be surveys done. There were going to be elevation certificates done. There was going to be plans. They were going to get with DD7. I mean, there was going to be all these plans made. And then we did put off, and then we'd follow up with it, and then they'd send somebody else out there, and then we'd got to start the whole process over. And the problem is that we have been habitually lied to for years, that something was going to get done. We were promised, we were assured, we were told that things were going to get done about it, and it wasn't. And look, we have done nothing wrong. The city came out and worked on that line. They have been the only one that has disturbed that easement. We have done nothing but mow it when we can. But, you know, it doesn't give you much confidence when the people that are in charge of fixing the problem just tell you what they can just to get by the next day so that they don't have to deal with it. And we believed them naively. We trusted the people that came out that they were going to do what they say they're going to do. I mean, that's how we operate.
30 seconds. Just.
But anyway, I just want y'all to know is that that's what we've been dealing with. And then once they realized that we weren't going to give up, then they started telling us, we'll bring dirt in there and fill it in. And I asked the guy, I said, so I can just haul loads of dirt in here without getting a permit, without getting the engineer's report, a scope of work. I can't get anybody out here. I mean, somebody has to sign off on this. And he didn't know. So they're trying to almost like it's set us up to do something that gets the city out of the liability of fixing this problem, because we didn't do nothing. We have done nothing wrong.
So
We have just lived here and improved that property.
So I have a question. So you go back to that photo I took the other day and sent back. So I saw this on the agenda the other day, and my apologies, not
Yes, sir.
knowing what was in the backyard. So I
Yes,
just kind of looked at it like, okay, there's no way 614 North 26 is flooding because it's going around. You got a huge ditch back there.
Yes,
So I
sir.
got more information, found out it was more in the backyard there. So I know behind you guys, you have those apartments in a private road, correct?
Yes, sir.
Going back that ditch. I mean, I think we need to look at some option right there. We run an 8 or 10 inch or something between that. If we get right away through those apartments and go that ditch. I mean, we got a huge outfall with DD7 ditch right there. I
Oh,
mean, so there's an option there.
and
if we can do something like that.
we've discussed that at length, and it was one of the things that they brought up to us. But then when it gets down to doing it, they come up with all these excuses why they can't now. At first, they said they were going to do it. We're going to fix it. And then now
It's like, so you've been an elected official before, so I can't sit here and promise, but it's something we need to look at if that's an
yeah.
option. right
And
there.
you know, I mean, I know how tough it is. I promise you. But y'all are our advocate, man. If y'all don't fight for us, we don't have anybody else.
Yeah, can you suspend for please, I was trying to ask Mr. Hallmark a question. I went out there last summer, didn't I?
Yes, yeah, you sure did.
And I thought we
Very
had the
much
beginning
appreciate
of a potential solution.
Yeah, and you know how deep it is back there.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of water that is collected in that easement.
So let the record reflect, I was in contact with them when it was hot back in July or August.
It's
So
frozen.
don't act, I don't want anyone to think I've been ignoring this. Thank you.
No, no, he's.
I'm
like he's
trying to,
come out-
so Mr. Hallmark, I'm trying to determine really so we didn't have any issues presumably. The city goes in, repairs a sewer pipe using cured in place pipe, which is the sleeve system. Why did we go in there and fix that line? Obviously, because we knew that there was a leak or that line was broke, which would explain why the water is now standing and not inflowing. Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt you.
No, go ahead.
William, can you put that picture back up? The last picture you had which showed the property line. So that, the other one, the last one you had before, well, that, I think that, now do that. One more back, that. Okay, when you look at we have a drawing, you look at the chronology and look, and hopefully fill in some blanks here. This fence here, this, as you said, this is roughly your property line.
Yeah.
We have a 5-foot easement. This land right here, this belongs to the people whose fence right, that is right there. That's their backyard.
Yeah.
Okay, now I don't know why this is.
That's
done.
probably 15 foot, 12, 15 foot.
About 9 or 10.
9 or
I can't
10,
remember.
okay.
The point is, that's their yard. Okay, I can't go in their yard, their backyard, and solve a problem because the whole water is dug out. Okay, let me give you the chronology on what was done at y'all's direction. Maybe it'll answer some questions. I've gone through all the emails that I can find to try to hopefully unpack this. And because y'all have a lot more of the history, I sure wasn't here in 2015 when you said the work was done. I trust it was. Said it wasn't a problem before that. Let me see what I explained already about the trenchless tap solution. It was because of broken pipes, and of course we're regulated. We had to correct that. So what I had, like on these emails, so what I was forwarded, and Councilman Jones, you sent me one to kind of tee this up for me back in December and into December. Basically what, and I went through those emails and it's clear, it's frustration from the Hallmark saying, hey, nothing's been done. It was in December. Understand that. My only response to it was, we'll look into it. Okay. That was, end of December 30th. Then I went back and again, looking at minutes and looking at other emails. So there was a council member, October 13th, it was referenced in the emails. So I mentioned that the Hallmark spoke at during citizen communications. And the mayor, you directed the then interim city manager to develop a plan to address the issue. Okay. That plan, and I've got the, at least the drawings, and it was Soutex. It was engaged 3 days later on October 16th to go out and look for a solution. Okay. When you hire an engineering company, look for a solution, they'll find one. And they suggested similar to what you just described a while ago, Councilmember Saunders. That solution was to go up, gain easement along a couple side lots, possibly gain easement, take the water, try to get across those apartments you described and take it down to DD7.
1 second, you said gain additional easements?
Did need easement to get
The easement from that thing here going to the big EDC.
yeah, to go there. So again, that's
We
what
also
that
have to get authorization to go into the DD7 ditch.
Yeah, that'd be your last thing to get
Yeah.
approval. So they're just asked to come put eyes on that and find a solution, okay? So they offered that solution. So then there were emails, okay, that was on the 16th, that they were engaged, they did some drawings. I understand we paid about $5,000 to have them come out and assess that. They were given ballpark numbers without getting, bids or quotes, but around $50,000 was their estimate to take that line I just described and go to DD7 ditch. Okay. And then that would carry the water that probably this we're describing there, take it out to the back. I know that there was, after I'm looking at the emails, this was before the 13th council meeting here. I had emails that, let's see, looking at the plat. So, George Wheeler had gone out and he referenced, I think he explained it, and I think he explained it in here. I'm not sure if he did or not, but I had emails that explained that this neighborhood and these streets were platted for front drainage. Okay. I went out there a couple weeks ago
So
myself
where did that come from?
from your building and your building.
Yeah, but
official.
the front drainage.
Yeah, front-
It was on a plat.
Yeah, it's
mapped
platted.
that way?
It's platted for that. So mapped that
Okay,
way, right?
mapped, it's on a map that way.
Right. And
Let-
there,
Let me stop you just a second, Bruce.
Okay.
There, Charlie is, just got a question for Charlie first.
Okay.
The property, okay, which? Hell, I'm taking breaths here. All right. That's your property right there. This up here.
No, that's
That's
Gavin
there.
Bruni. Gavin Bruni owns that.
Where is the
property.
property line? Here or
No,
here?
it's over there. We're right along where the brick there because, we have fence there.
So the moat is on Bruni's property.
Well, it's in ours too, because it comes in our.
That's why I asked, where is the property? But no. In this picture,
Yeah, it's
the,
mostly
the,
probably Bruni's.
the
I don't
water
have
is
my
in
survey.
Bruni's property.
I don't have my survey with me, but
yes. the
it's
answer is-
possible.
Doug.
that-
So if he's confident that that's obviously his property line where it looks like stones,
Mhm.
right? We have a 5-foot easement, so we know we're 5 foot over from where those stones are, based off what you're saying is what the easement is, and the rest of that space belongs to presumably Mr. Bruni, who has voluntarily moved his fence up.
Yeah.
Okay.
So back to what, if I could. So what I
Thank you,
was-
Bruce.
Have a survey, his property or mine.
You're doing the best from your recollection. You're not-
It's depicted on the drawings that South provided us. So what Wheeler explained was when he pulled the subdivision plat for that subdivision, he explained that the only drainage utility, and that's how he looked it up, the drainage utility on that plat is for drainage to the front of the properties, water drain to the front. The curbs out there have a little V cut in them where the water's supposed to come when the homeowners bring that water to the front. When I went out there myself and Taylor Shelton, I made a site visit, made the appointment, went out there, wanted to just see it. And I talked to Wheeler before I went, and he said that he proposed that from his assessment, looking at how it was platted, that the remedy for that was to bring the water back to the front as designed and as was platted. So going out there, I don't have an aerial, but the house, nice home got a very nice pool, got a nice pool deck around the pool. It's got a nice, there's a nice pool, call it a pool house. There's a storage building. There's an added driveway to the front, which all of that to say that there's quite a bit of, here.
That's the property.
Right.
Yeah, 614 is our property thing.
So, substantial amount of impervious cover on that lot. Well, clearly the water's going to go somewhere when it rains. Again, it was designed to go to the front of that lot and go out to the street, our drainage, take it to our drainage system, and the water would go away. But that water's shedding to the back. I'm not questioning it is. We can see it standing there. The water's going to the back. That's not what it was designed to do. Okay. And again, right now it's going to the back, and it's going to the backyard of that fence right there. These could have, we all know, these fences, this fence and this fence could be the same. Remember people share fences?
Mhm.
They could put a fence in our east.
Yeah.
People do it all the time.
You can't.
It'd been a shared fence. Had there been a fence there, that fence would be what, belong in here, Ron? Right?
Yeah.
Somebody could have put dirt, could have done whatever. It's their backyard. They could have done anything they wanted to. We didn't. We don't. It's not our backyard. This is not city property.
If the way I read them, spend just a second, Mr. Mills. If I'm reading everything correctly, that water in that picture is not on your property.
No.
That is on the
That's
property
city.
owner behind you, that private street of 25th Street. Am I correct?
It's on that, the city has to get in there. They gotta have easement rights.
No, right, but,
No,
but
I mean-
easement is still your property. And easement, so that's what I was asking earlier. Where is your actual property line, including the
It's
easement?
right- the fence or right on the other side of the fence.
So
We moved ours in
looking at
because we didn't want to have a problem with the city getting back there and utility companies.
So in other words, well over 85% of the water in that picture is not on your property.
Yes,
That's accurate.
but it impacts our
Well,
property.
I'm not denying that, but I'm saying in that picture, 85% of the water is not on your
Right.
property.
And the issue is that we didn't have this problem before the city worked on that line. I don't want that to be lost in all this. When the city worked on that line, they created a new condition. That was not the condition before the city worked on that line. I mean, that's the
yeah.
point I'm trying to make. I don't want to get caught off in the weeds on all this other stuff that we're dealing with.
Yeah, so Mr. Hallmark, question I have. That just seems to be a lower spot right there, because I'm looking at the grass, it's not holding it farther down. How does that drain there going at the top of that picture? Yeah,
Yeah, it's higher.
it's higher down.
And when you're
Okay.
out there, I mean, it's noticeable. You can
Okay.
see it.
I mean, that's what I'm looking at, how it's holding right there. Y'all
Yes,
kind of
sir.
seem to be in a swell going down right there.
Yeah,
Okay.
and it's a swell and it collects. And you can see that they've got a problem behind us, even in those little houses. And that used to not happen. But when the city repaired that line and they disturbed that easement, they caused this problem. And, you know, I've heard a lot of, I don't want to do it speeches, and I realize this gentleman here wasn't here. But we have had the, I don't want to hear it speech from people coming out there. And we have heard that we're going to do it speech from people who have come out there. And we are exhausted from this. We shouldn't have to put up with this. I mean, this ain't fair. This isn't right.
All right.
I mean, we did not do one thing to cause that.
So
The city did.
one more question I have. If you go back to that one that shows it all the way down the road, that photo, a little bit farther down. That's a good one there. So I know that's going either to, that's looking down, going to Elgin.
That's
No,
going towards Gary.
On the opposite
Okay,
way.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
yes, sir. And like I say, it's, you can see the elevation. It's real noticeable, but again,
I mean,
That was
I'm
not
looking
the
outside the
condition.
box. Is it something that could be trenched lower that
Yeah.
high spot to get to the culverts at each end? Maybe two streets there. I don't know. I gotta have to look at it deeper.
we're open to suggestions.
Yeah.
We're open to solutions. We just want something done. And that's why I mean, look, we're not the kind of people that come and for council, and I don't like doing this kind of stuff. I really don't. But I mean, we need something done about this. This is.
Okay, thank you. That's, I just,
Do you have anything?
are you
Well-
wrapped up?
Yes,
Because I'm gonna, Mr. De Villiers.
Mr. Mills isn't done.
Mr. Mills, I was gonna go back to
Sure.
him before I had the De Villiers come up. Mr. De Villiers, yeah,
Sure.
he'll be next.
You asked me, the only thing I could, I mean, again, I'm gonna have to go back to, we gotta follow the plat, gotta follow the design. Water's supposed to shed to the front, come to the front, owner's responsibility. I don't know if it's possible there with all the structure and all. I'm sure that's impacted it. That's what Mr. Wheeler, our official that knows this kind of stuff, advised. And I'm gonna come full circle and say, I stand by that recommendation. I don't see a solution for the city. I don't
Did-
see a opportunity for the city to create a solution to solve a problem on private property.
With but however, with the fact, hold on, Charlie. With the fact that in that picture, 85% of the water is not on their property. What does the plat say for the houses back there along 25th Street, that private street? How should they drain? Since that appears to be mostly the 25th Street property that is the lowest. No, well, y'all are on 26th.
Yeah.
This is the property line.
Yeah.
Roughly.
Yeah.
So that's yours. That's your problem. This is not yours.
Right.
That drains toward 25th Street, or they belongs to the properties on 25th Street. Right?
Does the city own a property it
And
has
I
an
just want
easement
to say
on?
this is we have not seen any of these surveys. We were told we were going to get to see them. Look at them. And we have not seen one survey, nothing. Nothing has been shared with us after they told us they were gonna do.
Hold on, I'm trying to work with you.
Okay.
Have we looked, Mr. Mills, have we looked at the plat for those properties along 25th Street to see how they're supposed to drain?
I couldn't tell you. I've not had any feedback on that. I can ask.
I think
but-
that's a very pertinent
Yeah.
question in this situation.
And again, the city has to get in that easement. They got a sewer line in there. There is an easement in there.
So let me, Mayor, let me follow up. then. If-
Go ahead, Mr. Mills.
if we determine, and I don't know if it's platted that way, but what if it's determined for it to go to the front, that doesn't solve the problem in the back of this one.
To me, it would, because most of that water belongs to the property that faces 25th Street. If what you're saying, what your
Yeah.
thought is,
Yeah.
that the property line is flush with the fence at the upper left-hand corner of the picture in question.
And the thing is, if we need to get with Mr. Bruni, I know him very well. I'm sure he would be very accommodating, but I mean, he's my neighbor. I mean, we talk, we have a good relationship. I always try to build good relationships with our neighbors. As I said before, I mean, we love living in Nederland. We love our house. We love where we live. But this problem
Right.
manifested after the city.
That's,
And that's-
yeah.
That's the point I want to make.
I'm trying to work with, I'm trying to get if your thought on where the survey is accurate, and the survey is going to speak for itself.
Oh, yeah.
The survey is going to speak for
provide it
itself.
to you.
If 85% of the problem is on Bruni's property, and we need, I would think, and again, I'm not a property expert here, that those properties on 25th Street are supposed to be drained may be a controlling issue here as well.
Well, we can, I would like to see the surveys. I hadn't seen the surveys that we were supposed to be able to see. We were told we were gonna be able to see them.
Uh,
I mean,
go,
I would think.
suspend Councilman Ortiz,
So-
Mayor Pro Tem Ortiz.
If we promise that, we need to deliver that.
I'm not aware of this.
I know, it was
I mean,
I'm not
before
even
you,
aware of us
I'm
having
not
a
holding
survey.
him
So
accountable for that because
Oh,
he wasn't here.
right, but yeah, if that's something that we promise, we need to go ahead and do that.
Okay, yeah, you're clear,
Guaranteed.
right?
This was gonna be.
Yeah.
fixed.
Okay, I think we have more to look at here.
I have a little bit
personally.
more information that I didn't have before this meeting, so I appreciate you guys coming up and speaking to council tonight.
Well, we appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
It's been informative. Mr. DeVillier? Or Mr. and Ms. DeVillier, whichever one you want to come up.
Frank DeVillier at 606 North 26th Street, next door,
Yeah.
obviously to the Hallmarks. I'll provide a little bit more detail on the timeline. We purchased our home in 2008, the summer before Ike came.
Yeah.
We have a swimming pool back there. We've had flower beds, the whole 9 yards back there, but we never had a flooding problem at all, ever. During hurricanes, during storms, never had a flooding problem. 2015 is when the work was done, and that's exactly when it started. The entire back 3 to 4 feet of our yard inside our fence now floods anytime there's a heavy one. There was a manhole out in the easement as part of the sewer line. That when they came by, my wife was babysitting our grandchildren. She woke up one morning, there were people in our backyard tearing our fence down to work on this. They weren't notified, but they just were back there.
Was that, suspend for my question, please. Was that in 2015 that you're talking about?
2015.
Got it. Thank you.
So it's when it happened. We ended up talking to the city. I can't remember his title at the time, but we did speak to someone we knew at the city. And he was part of the project. The construction crew had come back here and started, like I said, they removed 10 to 12 foot of our fence and started digging. They end up installing a new manway that was about 4 foot closer to my house than the original was. So it was not on the easement anymore. It was inside of my property. And then the flooding happened. So I don't have a lot more to elaborate with Charles. He gets quite a bit more water in his yard than I do, but I still get quite a bit. Snakes, frogs, black algae in the pool because of the frogs.
Plagues of Egypt.
Yeah. So,
Anything else you can think of? So that's it. I just wanted to corroborate timeline basically and share that we have the same problem. If we are in one of these pictures, the corner of my yard, and you can see how it affects the bottom corner of the yard. So.
Okay.
Yeah, we'd just like to see if there's something we can get done. It looks to me obvious. Councilman Sonier mentioned it. It looks that when the driveway was poured from the private street into the Bruni's backyard, there was not a culvert installed. And it looks to me like that just dammed everything up. I'm not an engineer.
Okay.
I don't know that stuff, but it looks like it would drain straight to the ditch if that was it. So.
Okay. Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Greg.
Okay. Council, any follow-up on this? Any further?
We need to figure out a solution.
I haven't need to figure out, that's my, what I've been saying for six months now, Charlie, about.
I appreciate the information.
Yeah.
This is helpful. I appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, I'll come by.
All right, then.
Man, I'm not gonna take a bribe, but I'll take your cold beer.
Good. Okay.
Thank you.
This is not an action item. It is a follow-up item, and I would like a follow-up as absolutely promptly as possible, especially with the, let's look to see how the 25th Street properties are platted and to be drained, et cetera, et cetera. Okay.
Mr. Mills, please follow up with me on this. Let me know what you found on the 25th side.
I will.
Thank you.
As soon as Jones and I get updates, we'll forward those to you. All right. D, discussion and possible action regarding the city's sidewalk ordinance. Mr. Mills.
Thank you. This one's very simple tonight, compared to that last conversation. We took a look, and I know I've had a lot of, one-off kind of, calls and requests for repairing and replacing sidewalks around the city, and rightfully so. There's a lot of them that are either offset or broken, cracked up. So we took a look at the ordinance. There's an ordinance dated back in, I don't know, early 1800s, I think, a long time ago. that-
1955.
I think, okay, well, yeah. Okay, a long time ago.
Mhm.
That ordinance basically said it's to the owners of the property to repair, replace, or remove your sidewalk. And so we started doing a little bit deeper dig. We were going to talk about repealing that ordinance, and I talked to the city attorney about that. And then we started doing a little more deeper investigation and I didn't find, but I had staff interdate me with some other ordinances we found that are actually, we contradict our own ordinance, what I want to say. And so we're not prepared tonight to come in and recommend anything to you. Need to take a deeper look, and I think I have the ordinances pulled that we need to take a look at. So we'll bring back some recommendations to you at a later meeting.
Yeah, and it'll be written and or reviewed by our new city attorney.
Maybe your new city manager. I'm
Maybe
not
new
sure,
city
but
manager,
at least
right?
the new city attorney. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, so this is not an action item as well. E, discussion and possible action regarding the request for proposals on windstorm insurance. Mr. Mills.
We thought we were going to have this when we put this on, and it's going to be next meeting as well. But what I want to comment on is the proposals are out right now, and we're waiting on final ones to come in for the windstorm insurance. So we should have that 23rd.
February 23rd
Yes.
then. Is there any objection to postponing this to the 23rd?
No.
Okay, without objection, it will be on the 23rd. F, discussion and possible action to approve the change order number 1 final payment and release of retainage for the 2024 water line project. Mr. Mills.
Thank you, Mayor. It's a final payment, retention payment on this project from 2024. It's in your packet, and I recommend approval of this one.
And what's that total amount?
70
something. 78,532.
78,532.
Yes, sir.
78,532. I will accept a motion in a second to approve this.
So moved.
Motion by Sonier, seconded by Ortiz to approve the the final payment and release of retainage for the 2024 waterline project in the amount of, say it one more time, gentlemen,
$78,532,
even?
even.
Okay. Any discussion, council, or questions? Any questions or comments from the citizens? Hearing none, seeing none. All in favor of item F, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Oh, wait, nope.
One at a
Sorry,
time.
one at a time. My bad. Old habits are hard to break. Councilmember Jones. Darby, aye. Sonia.
Aye.
Ortiz.
Aye.
Duplant still absent. Okay. Now that's approved. Thank y'all for keeping me on my toes. All right, G, consider action approving the order of general election for the city of Needland's May 2026 general election. It's this final election date, of course, is May 2nd. Mr. Mills.
It's on you.
That's right. Just a second, let me get to it. Gotta get my eyes on first, my bad. Okay, let me get to the first page. I need longer arms. Order of general election for municipalities, orden de elección general para municipios. Okay, there you go. An election is hereby ordered to be held on May 2nd, 2026 for the purpose of voting on Council Member Ward 1 and Council Member Ward 3. The main early voting site, or the only early voting location, will be Hughes Library, 2712 Needland Avenue. April 2nd will be 8 to 5. April 21st is San Jacinto Day, a state holiday. By state law, there's no voting on that date. April 22nd to 24th, 8 to 5. There will, and I'm not skipping it, I'm just going in order on this thing. April 27th to 28th, 8 to 5. And on the weekend, it will be at the Hughes Library as well. On Saturday, April 25th, 8 to 5, and Sunday, April 26th, 12 to 5, 12 noon to 5 p.m. Applications for ballot by mail shall be mailed to the early voting clerk, Roxana Costa Helberg. We know who she is. And applications for ballots by mail must be received no later than the close of business on April 20th. That's up to Roxanne's office as well. Federal postcard applications must be received no later than the close of business April 22nd. Okay. Council members, did I miss anything?
I don't think so.
Okay. I will accept a motion and a second for setting the, as y'all, let me just say this before there's a motion a second. We voted for this budget year to have the Jefferson County clerk run all of our elections. And they're going to be doing it for a lower price than we did it ourselves. So, and everybody in here knows Roxanne and knows the fine job she does, and she and her staff do. Okay, now I'll accept a motion in second.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion by Councilmember Sonia, seconded by Mayor Pro Tem Ortiz to approve this order for general election for the city of Needlands, May 2nd, 2026 general election. Any comments from the citizens? Seeing none, hearing none. I'll start with Sonia. I haven't started with him yet. Councilmember Sonia.
Aye.
Mayor Darby, aye. Councilmember Jones.
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Ortiz.
Aye.
And Duplant absent. Okay. That is now done. All right, now back to the second item. Actually, the first item is written on the executive session. The city council will announce that it will go into executive session pursuant to chapter 551 of the Texas Government Code to discuss matters as specifically listed on the agenda or as authorized by law. Personnel matters pursuant to section 551.074 of the Texas Government Code to deliberate the appointment, employment, evaluation, reassignment, duties, discipline, or dismissal of a public officer, employee regarding police chief. And in spite of the scary sounding words, this is not, there's no dismissal coming. So just gonna not have everybody all upset. I had a call from one of the local media. What's this about Rod Carroll? I'm like, dude, he just wants an evaluation. Okay. It is 7:29. We're going to executive session. We'll make this as expeditious as we possibly can while respecting your time, but respecting Chief Carroll's time as well. Thank you.
Yeah, me too.
and all this other stuff. That's just what the law says. Well, you know, you know. All right. Number 9, city manager comments. Mr. Mills, you got any? Bruce, you got any city manager comments?
I don't believe I do, sir.
Okay, I'll just go around the horn. Britton?
Yeah, I have a comment I'd like to make. Been a lot of talk about the time limits. I'll start over now. Thanks, Will.
Bruce had no comments. I'll just put that on the record.
Been a lot of talk about the time limits and I was opposed to that. When it passed this council, I voted no, and I'm still opposed to it today. I just wanted to make that comment. I want to be very clear about that. I'm adamantly opposed to the 3-minute time limit. Thank you.
Randy?
I'm good. Good meeting tonight.
Jeff?
Is this the moment where we can add something to our next agenda, or do I need to do it by email?
Just, how you want to do it, man?
The next agenda, if we can just get an update on the hotel motel tax, situation. For February 23rd meeting. And I'll send some wording for you.
Okay.
Via email.
You got it.
Thank you.
And I would like to end by saying, the reason the Hallmarks and De Villiers were on the agenda, or it's because they asked, they provided us something in writing and so forth. And any citizen can talk to any of us that sit up here, mayor, council, 1, 2, 3, 4, and ask and have a discussion to get on the agenda. The reason you're not on the agenda is because you don't ask. And I realize some of you say you've said and said and said. I can tell you without naming any names, the number of phone calls, emails I've gotten from a lot of people who are very adamant about this. I don't remember the last time you've called. Please call. We're not being lack of transparency up here. Talk to us. Talk to us. 853-0911 is my city number. 409-853-0911. My email is jdarby@ci.nederland.tx.us. I'm not doing city business every day. I do have a private company I do try to run and make a little money, but I do city business most days. Please call, email. We'll go to lunch together. Okay. It is now 8:10 p.m. I declare this meeting adjourned.